Hey guys, I'm here today to walk you guys through a short full body stretching routine just to use as a warm up to work on your flexibility. I've been asked by a couple students and some friends to help them work on flexibility in different areas, so I figured we could just kind of start with the basics. If you are not a friend or a student and you have found me, welcome. I'm going to be doing some more of these, so if you have any questions or if you want me to cover anything in the future, just leave it in the comments. Or if you need clarification on something, I hope to cover this pretty in depth and let you know where you should be feeling these stretches and some different kind of alterations for different skill levels and things like that. But if I haven't covered it thoroughly enough or you need it explained in a different way, just let me know below. By the way, I'm not like by any means any kind of influencer. I don't have a microphone or like a fancy camera. I'm just like filming this on my phone. I'm never going to try to sell you stuff or do unboxing videos. This is just a free source of education. So we're going to start with our feet out in front of us, and we're going to open our ankles into a wide straddle. So you just want to pull your feet to the side as wide as you can get comfortably without those knees bending up or you feeling a lot of tension in those hips or hamstrings. For some of you that might be more of a V, and for some of you that may even look more like a full middle split. So in this, we want to extend through those toes, pull those down to the floor, and we're squeezing the bottoms of our knees down to the ground. We're going to take our hands and we're going to reach for that heel. So if you can't reach your heel quite yet, you can reach for the ankle or even the knee. So our goal here is to pull our upper body toward that leg and to pull those elbows down, head to your knee if you can get that. If that's easy and you need a little bit more of a stretch, pull that forehead down to the ground. We're going to do that to the other side. Be sure that we're squeezing these knees down to the ground. We don't want gaps. All right, now we're going to take it to the middle. So the goal for this is we want to keep our knees and the tops of our feet rotated up. So we are going to walk those hands out as far as we can go. If you can't get all the way out, that's fine. Just go as far as you can without those legs rotating in. If you can go all the way down, go ahead and do that. From here, we're going to pull into a butterfly. And I focus on pulling my knees down to the ground. If you're not quite there, I'm not a big fan of the flutter. I use it sometimes to just kind of alleviate that pressure in the hips and relax, but I don't find that it actually helps your hip flexibility. So if you can't get those knees pushed down by just holding your feet, feel free to use those hands as an aid to push down. From here, we're going to hold our feet in the middle. We're going to pull nice and tall through our shoulders, pull our belly button in, and we're extending this leg out and pointing that toe. If you can't quite get that leg extended, we still want to have this grip on the foot. Just extend as far as you can. We're going to switch sides. And just for fun and to work on some balance, we're going to do both. So be sure that we're pulling those shoulders nice and tall. We lift those feet, and you're going to slowly extend. You can lean back into this on your bottom. Be sure we're pointing those feet. We've got those legs extended. Once you get a little bit more comfortable with this position and you don't roll backwards, you can widen those feet and sit up into it. Okay. From here, we're going to take those toes all the way out. Flex your feet. If you can, pull your heels up. If you can't, just hang out, pull those toes back. If you can't reach your toes, reach for your ankles. If you can't reach for your ankles, reach for your knees. All right, we're gonna point and flex. I'm gonna show you that from the side. We're keeping those legs extended, knees are straight. Feet and ankles are the focus of this stretch. Keep those toes pointed. We're gonna try to bring our belly button, chest, and face to our legs. If you can't get there, just reach as far as you can. From here, we're gonna flex again. We're gonna turn those feet out to the side and back in. This is gonna help kind of open that hip up and stretch our knees a little bit. From here, we're keeping those pinky toes flat to the ground. We're gonna pull and touch big toes together and back out and up. This is a really good ankle stretch. From here, we're gonna draw big circles with our toes, bring those around. And bring it the other way. All right, so from here, we're gonna grab one foot. We're gonna push into the ball of the foot. You can push your knee down as well. And we're gonna rotate that foot around. Be sure as we bring it back, we're placing that pressure in the ball of the foot to really stretch through that ankle and Achilles. We're gonna pull that foot up into our hip. Pull it up as close to your hip as you can. Once that's there, you can place that foot. And if you can't sit that leg down, you can give it a gentle push. We're not trying to overextend this hip here, so don't do it to the point to where you're in pain. Just get a nice stretch out of that. We're gonna go to the other side. Same thing, we're really pushing into the ball of the foot here. We're stretching through that ankle and Achilles, getting good rotations through those feet. We're gonna do the same thing. Pull up and try to squeeze that knee down to the ground. Now we're gonna pull both up into that lotus pose. The main thing for this I see is that people don't have the hip mobility to pull that other leg up if they can get this one foot up. So one thing that's gonna help is as you pull this foot in, pull it as close as you can get. You can give that knee a push down to help assist with getting this foot up onto your calf. Okay, so now we're gonna be on our knees. We're gonna reach all the way out to the front and we wanna really extend through these lats. We're pushing out as far as we can and making our back really long. I like to grip the floor and think of pulling my shoulder blades backward. From here, we're just gonna rest that head, pull our arms up as far as we can. All right, from here, I'm gonna elevate my hips so that I can get more of a stretch and twist in my spine. Knees are gonna be about hip width apart. I'm gonna drop this shoulder to the ground and reach up. So if that's not enough of a stretch, you can take the back of that hand toward the floor. We're gonna switch and do the other side. Okay. Now we're just gonna relax. We're gonna stretch out our neck and our shoulders. So we're gonna roll shoulders back. Make big circles as you come up. Think of touching those shoulders to your ears, and then we're gonna press them down as far as we can. Same thing, roll those shoulders forward now. Okay, from here, we're just gonna rest our shoulders in our hands, and we're gonna stretch our neck, so we're gonna look up, tilt that chin up as far as you can go. If you need a little extra stretch, give a gentle push on your chin. And down. Same thing if you need a little extra stretch in the back of the neck here where our skull meets our vertebrae. Give it a little push. We're going to listen to our shoulders. So we're taking our shoulder down, and we're going to take our ear to our shoulder. We're not going to let that shoulder lift, so that will be sure that we're really extending through that neck. And now we're going to look to the side. We don't want any upper body rotation with that, so keep those shoulders steady. And we're going to roll it around. Take it nice and slow. Okay, from here, we're going back out to that wide straddle that we started with, but this time we're gonna flex our feet. That is gonna add some tension in our hamstrings and in our hips, and it's also gonna activate our glutes a little bit more with this exercise. From here, we're gonna hug ourselves with one arm, so you're gonna kind of support that side. We're gonna reach up, and with this hand, you're gonna reach for your opposite foot. If you can't quite reach that foot, that's okay. Reach as far as you can, just hang out. The main part of our body that we're stretching with this is that lat, that top lat that is closest to the ceiling. So really, I want you to pull in as close to that leg as you can, but I want you to feel that stretch here. You will feel it in your hamstring most likely. It hits a lot of the areas of our body, but that lat is the main thing that I want us to be stretching here. We're still squeezing our knees to the mat and taking those toes up. Again, we're stretching through that lat. All right, we're gonna pancake again. So just like for the first time, we wanna go out as far as we can. If that's right here, that's fine. We're focusing on taking our belly button down first, our ribs, and then our chin. Okay, I pull my legs behind me like this, but if you need to, just pull those legs together and put them behind you. All right. From here, we're pressing our hips into the ground. We're trying not to overactivate our glutes in this one because this is gonna affect how far up we can push in this skill. We're gonna point through our toes, squeeze our legs straight, use our triceps and our shoulders to push all the way up. And we're gonna breathe through this. You're gonna feel a little pinch in your lower back most likely. We're gonna let it down. We're gonna do that again. So this time, take a deep breath in, and as you push up, I want you to let your breath out. Especially in our back bending skills, holding our breath is gonna decrease that mobility and it's going to tighten our core, which is not exactly what we want when we're trying to get our spine to bend for us. So breathe out. If you need to, walk your hands in further. And we're thinking of pulling our shoulders back and letting that head drop. If we're coming up onto our knees and we see that our hips are picking up, we might be pushing back too far. So keep those hips pressed as flat to the ground as you can, and if you need to, you can let those hands back out. And we're gonna do one more. This time we're gonna touch our toes to our head. So breathe out. And we're gonna tuck those toes under. We're gonna lift our hips up, and we're gonna try to pull our head through our shoulders and really stretch through those hamstrings and through those shoulders. All right. From here, we're gonna cat-cow. So pull up through that upper back and really put that weight in your hands. Now we're gonna arch. Think of bringing that belly button to the floor, shoulders and tailbone up. Again. All right. We're gonna put one foot out in front. We maintain that 90-degree position with that back leg. And from here, we're gonna put one hand on either side of our leg, and we're gonna let that upper body lean into our leg as far as we can get it. You're gonna feel that stretch through your hamstring here, and we just wanna lean down as far as we can get it. From here, we're gonna shift this weight forward. We're gonna push our knee right to where it's in line with our ankle. So if we're here, we're not really getting a lot of benefit from that. Let's keep that supporting leg strong so that we can feel that stretch through this upper quad and really lean into that hip. If you're looking for a little extra challenge, you can lift your hands. And if you want to stretch your back a little bit, you can lean. From here, we're maintaining that same position. We're going to slide that front foot out as far as we can go. If you have this split flat, you can work on keeping your alignment by taking your opposite hand to your opposite knee. Okay, we're going to do the other side now. Be sure we're really pressing these toes down. I see toes pick up in this a lot, and that's gonna add some undue tension into that hamstring. We're trying to get a nice deep stretch. We don't want extra tension there. So lean into that front leg. Make sure that that knee is right over top of that ankle for that support. Feel that stretch through your quad. Again, if you want some more stretch, we can reach. And we're gonna slide into that split again. Good. All right. Bounce on those toes, relax your hamstrings, and we're gonna extend those legs straight and touch our toes. If you can't touch your toes, reach as far as you can. You can reach for your shins, ankles, whatever helps you to feel that stretch through the back of those legs. Again, we're pulling that belly button and that chest toward our legs, and we're leaning in to fold in half. We want to think of squeezing those legs straight and taking our nose to our knees. All right, we're going to bounce again, relax. We're up again. We're going to put that weight into the ball of our feet. Hands are going to be right underneath shoulders, and we're going to slowly walk those feet out. Our knees are turned in on this one. We're going into a middle split, so we're going to walk out as far as we can go, and we're going to hold that. All right, and we're going to round this up with some back. So not everyone has their standing back bend yet, so I'm going to teach you from a bridge position, and then I'm going to show you from standing. We're going to lay on our backs, and we want to pull our heels as close to our bottoms as we can. And we're going to bring our fingertips to face our shoulders, elbows up. From here, I don't want you to think about squeezing your glutes. I want you to think about squeezing your quads and your hamstrings to straighten your legs and do that hip thrust motion. And I also want us to push through our delts and triceps and upper arms to extend those arms. So we're going to take our belly button up and push through those limbs until they're straight. It's okay if your bridge starts here and our head's on the ground. The goal is just to get a little better every time. So we want to get that head off the ground as quickly as possible. And as we can get that, then we can work on strengthening those limbs and extending, pushing that belly button up, keeping those hips up. Once you get here, you can walk your feet in closer, or you can straighten those legs. You can lean back and forth to stretch through those shoulders. And then we're going to come down and we're going to roll it out. This feels really good after we've had that back bend motion. So just roll for as long as you need to. If you're feeling brave, or you already have your bridge from the ground, or you're working on your standing back bend, we're going to do that now. So this is just a more advanced entry into what we just did. If you're not quite to where you can do what we just did, hang out there for now. If you've mastered it, we're going to start. Okay. We're going to keep our feet a little wider than hip width apart, and our arms are going to extend up. From here, we're going to engage our quads, hamstrings, and glutes to slowly lower ourselves back while keeping that belly button and our hips up. Our fingertips is going to be the first thing that falls back. Our head is going to follow. So we're going to watch our upper body come back while we're maintaining that position with our lower body. I think of pushing my shoulders out over my toes. We're here. Hips out over toes. We're going to drop back. So standing back bend is something that's a little intimidating, and that may take a while to get. I can do some drills and some stretches and things to kind of work on that in a later video, but if you're working on that, we'll get around to it. So the last stretches that I have for you are just some kick drills. So we're going to stack those hips right up on top of each other. This hand is just a supporting hand. We're pushing up through this elbow. Our ear is far away from our shoulder. We don't want to be sunk into this form here. We're set up nice and tall. We're going to bring our toe in. We're going to lift that knee and extend. So yours might be here for now, and that's okay. Keep it there. Extend to the fullest of your ability, but don't overextend yourself. You'll notice that as I bring that toe up, my knee rotates up to the ceiling, and then that leg extends close to me. I bring it back down, and that knee is rotated forward. So that's a rotation that you can be mindful of as you do these. And we're going to pulse. Now we're just going to squeeze that leg straight the whole time, and we're going to give big kicks. So in these kicks, I want you to make sure that we're not just swinging our foot up, but we're squeezing our glute and our quad to lift from the central part of our body. We're not just kind of kicking manically.